Hey guys, LovelyMuze here and welcome back to another one of my 17-time videos. This time, I thought it would be fun to do another video, where I basically place the members of 17 as fictional characters. The last one I did, was them as characters from the Disney movie Tangled. However, this time, I decided to imagine them as demigods and based on their personalities and characteristics, determine who their godly parents would be. I will be using gods and goddesses, from both Greek and Roman mythology, as well as Norse mythology. I may also refer to one or more gods or goddesses when trying to connect the members with their godly parents. However, do feel free to include your own list down in the comments section below. Or correct me on a fact, both in regard to 17, and the mythological gods and goddesses that I bring up. Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Just a little disclaimer, before we begin. I just want to let you know that the video you are about to watch is based on the Percy Jackson movie series, and a Reddit post that I saw a couple of weeks ago. Link to the post will be down below, and as such, what is being stated in this video is based on facts and information from outside sources. But it is also based on my own personal research, rewatching a lot of Going 17 videos, and my opinion, regarding the 17 members and the mythological gods and goddess. Onto the video. First up, is 17's Escoops. For Escoops I see him as the son of Zeus from Greek mythology. And one of the main reasons for this is because, just like Zeus who is the king of Olympus, Escoops, though he may not be a king, is the leader of 17. Furthermore, just like Zeus, Escoops is known to be fair and just, prudent, and emotional, but also easily angered. All children of Zeus are known to be one of the most powerful demigods, and are natural-born leaders. As for why I chose Poseidon as another godly parent for Escoops, is because Poseidon is known to be moody by nature with emotional fluctuations often resulting in violence. And though Escoops has never been violent, he has often exhibited signs of it, but of course in a playful manner, especially when he feels wrong, or that something is unfair or unjust. Now, when it comes to Jiang-Han, there was no other god that I believed would be suited to be his godly parent, other than the god of mischief. However, when searching up the god of mischief from both the Greek and Norse mythology, I found that the god of mischief, or should I say, the goddess of mischief for the Greek mythology, was a bit too gruesome and cruel. Not to mention, she seems to take too much pleasure in leading both gods and men to ruins. And although Jiang-Han is mischievous, and known to constantly cheat during games, he isn't cruel, nor does he take pleasure in other people's misery. That left me with the mischief god from Norse mythology, Loki. And if anyone is familiar with this god, or Marvel's version of him, then you probably already know why Loki is a perfect fit to be Jiang-Han's godly parent. Both of them are not just known as tricksters but are also very cunning, and loyal. However, there are two other gods or goddesses that I do believe Jiang-Han can be the son to, and that is the goddess Athena and the goddess Aphrodite. When it comes to being the son of Athena, it is said that the children of Athena are known to be intellectuals and amazing strategists. And if anyone is a fan of 17, or 17's reality show, Going 17, then you know just how much Jiang-Han plays a huge role in setting out ideas and plans for 17. We also know that the other members of 17 have stated that Jiang-Han is one of the most athletic members in the group. However, on the other hand, I can also see him being Aphrodite's son, in the sense that some children of Aphrodite have the ability to charm, speak, and influence other people with their voices. And Jiang-Han is known to be a good speaker, to the point that he can easily convince people using arguments that don't even make sense. Furthermore, Aphrodite is known as the goddess of love and beauty. Not only can she charm her way through using her speech, but using her beauty as well. And as we know, Jiang-Han's supremacy exists. Not to mention, he is known to be very loving towards his members. The god Hermes, and the goddess Irene, are the godly parents that I chose for Joshua. I chose Hermes as one of the godly parents to Joshua, as he is known to be the Olympian god of language, travel, luck and many more. But I highlighted those three in particular, due to the fact that Joshua is one of the 4 members in 17 who can speak more than one language fluently. Not to mention, Hermes is also known to be the cleverest and most mischievous out of the Olympian gods. And just like Jiang-Han and June, Joshua is known to be a trickster, and mischievous as well. Also, because his family lives in LA, he has to travel a lot to see them, going back and forth between LA and South Korea. When it comes to the goddess Irene, Irene is known to be the goddess of peace, basically the personification of peace itself. And even though Joshua can be quite mischievous, he is known to be peaceful by nature, that even his voice sounds peaceful, earning him the nickname Gentleman. Just the same as Joshua, Hermes was chosen as one of the godly parents for June as well. And just like Joshua, June is also mischievous in his ways and also knows more than one language fluently. Not to mention, he is also a foreigner, and thus, has to travel back and forth between China and South Korea to see his family. June is also quite childish, and playful, as well. Another godly parent that I chose for June was the god of laughter, Gelos. And just like Gelos who brings laughter to other gods and men, June brings a lot of laughter to 17, making him one of the unofficial members of the gag unit. Also, Gelos is often accompanied by Dionysus, and as we all know, the China line comes as a package. The Greek goddess Lisa, the god Dionysus, and Roman god Mars, are the godly parents that I chose for Hoshi. When it comes to Dionysus, I chose him as one of the godly parents to Hoshi, because just like Dionysus, Hoshi brings joy to people, but also delivers blinding rage. Furthermore, Dionysus is known to have a dual personality. And even though Hoshi is indeed an introvert, he can, however, get very talkative, hyper, energetic, and borderline chaotic when he is around people he is comfortable with. Not to mention, because he is one of the four mood makers of the group, fans tend to see his more outgoing personality, which often resembles the traits of an extrovert, rather than an introvert. Now, I chose the goddess Lisa as one of Hoshi's godly parents, due to the fact that the goddess Lisa is the goddess of insanity and madness. And if anyone is familiar with the Going 17 episodes, especially the Don't Lie episodes, we know how chaotic and insane Hoshi can get. This is probably why people tend to confuse him as an extrovert. As for the Roman god Mars, my initial choice was the Greek god Ares, but I decided to choose Mars instead. Both Ares and Mars are known to be the gods of war and are counterparts to one another. However, because Ares is known to be more brutal with his approach and seems to value brute force over strategy, I decided to lean towards Mars instead. These are also the same reasons why Ares is always rivaled against Athena. Mars is known to be a great fighter and is very passionate about it also. Hoshi is a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, and almost went on to become a professional at nationals, but quit because he didn't want to cut his hair really short. Also, just like Mars, Hoshi is very argumentative, as you can see with his constant bickering with Sungkwan. But he is also very well respected by his peers, especially by his members. The god Apollo and the goddess Athena are the two that are chosen for being the godly parent for Wonwoo. Just like Apollo, Wonwoo is calm, wise, and knowledgeable in a lot of things, and takes pride in learning new things. And just like Apollo who gets along with all gods, Wonwoo gets along with all the members of 17. Despite being on the quieter side, Apollo is known to be very intelligent and one of the wisest gods along with Athena. Apollo is also known to be protective of his family, especially over his mother Leto and his twin sister Artemis. And is known to be a very cruel punisher, but never unreasonable either. As for Athena, she is also very intelligent, watchful, reasonable, and unemotional, and the children of Athena are quite good at analyzing the situation they are in, and all possibilities. Wonwoo is known to be smart, and one of the smartest members of the group. He is also very observant, and quite analytical, and can pick up stuff quite quickly. He can be very reasonable and understanding and knows how to maintain order, as shown in the Going 17 episodes, especially the debate night episodes. And lastly, he is one of the members who doesn't let his emotions get the best of him, especially when 17 play games, such as Mafia. Another godly parent that I just thought of for Wonwoo was the goddess Nike, as she is known to be the goddess of victory, and is very athletic, more specifically very fast. And as we know, Wonwoo is known as the fastest member in 17. He along with Mingyu, Jianghan, and S-Coops got 17 first place, at the 400-meter men's relay race during the 2017 Idol Star Athletics. Just like Wonwoo, Woozi's godly parents are also Apollo and Athena. Though Apollo is an intelligent person, he is also a musical person as well. Apollo is known universally as the god of prophecy and oracles, music, song and poetry, healing, and archery. Where Wonwoo takes up the intelligent aspects of Apollo, Woozi takes up the musical aspect of him. And just like Wonwoo and all children of Athena, Woozy is quite rational in his thinking, and can pick up skills quite quickly, especially when it comes to dancing and playing instruments. Choosing Dionysus as one of the 8 godly parents was a no-brainer. Dionysus is known as the god of wine and festivities, and Ming Hao is known to enjoy wine. There is even an episode from their reality show called SVT Club, where Joshua and Ming Hao went to a wine store and tasted various types of wine. As for Athena, she is known as the wisest amongst all gods and goddesses in Greek mythology. And even though Ming Hao does have his savage and blunt side, he is very wise and likes to give his fans a lot of life advice, often quoting life quotes from books and novels he likes to read. He is also one of the members, along with Wonwoo and Vernon, who tend to not let their emotions get the best of them. The 2 godly parents I chose for Mingyu are the god Hephaestus, who is the god of fire, and the goddess Demeter, who is the god of harvest, grain, and fertility. Now, when it comes to Hephaestus, I chose him because he is known to be the blacksmith amongst gods. He is good at making, building, and fixing things. Despite his appearance, he is very kind-hearted, friendly, peaceful, lovable, and loves working. This goes for Mingyu as well, as, despite his tall stature, he is very clumsy, kind, and lovable. Plus, despite him being the one to often mistakenly break things, he is also good at fixing and making things. As for Demeter, as stated earlier, Demeter is the goddess of harvest, grain, and fertility. Disregarding the fertility part, Mingyu is very good at cooking and is known to be the main cook of 17. I can wholeheartedly and confidently say that the members wouldn't have survived on that island, during one fine day, without Mingyu. Also, I wanted to include Athena as well, because Mingyu is known to be one of the smartest members of the group. And all because, all children of Athena are quite athletic, and have a natural instinct for forging, weaving, and architecture. However, I decided not to include her officially, because I felt that I have used Athena too many times for the other members, so I decided to not officially include her. But I can definitely see Mingyu being one of Athena's children. The godly parents that I chose for DK was Helios, Apollo, or Hestia. For Helios, he is known as the Titan god and the personification of the sun, and was a guardian of oaths, and the god of sight. Helios is often depicted in art with a radiant crown and driving a horse-drawn chariot through the sky. He is powerful, fiery, bright, and tireless, but also his fire often burns out. I chose Helios because DK is often nicknamed to be the sunshine of the group with his kind and bright personality, not to mention his bright smile. However, he does have moments where his brightness burns out or goes low, as DK does often has low self-confidence, especially when it comes to his abilities as a singer. Apollo is another god that I chose for DK, as Apollo is known for his musical abilities, but also because of his highly rated archery skills. As for Hestia, Hestia is known as the goddess of fire and home. She is known to also be very kind, forgiving, content, gentle and mild. DK is known to carry those same traits, to the point that the other members tend to often joke about him not being able to live on his own, due to fear of him being swindled and conned. Okay, we've made it all the way to my bias in the group, Mr. Boo. Sung Kwan was actually quite a difficulty for me, as there were so many gods and goddesses that I believe he embodies. From goddess Demeter, the goddess Aphrodite, and the goddess Artemis, to the goddess Diana, the goddess Leto, and the god Poseidon. But I have been trying to stick with no more than 3 gods max, per member. So, I decided on the goddess Leto, the goddess Aphrodite, and the god Poseidon. The goddess Leto was a Titan god of motherhood and the protector of the young. She is known to be very modest, gentle, and determined but does not tolerate being disrespected. Whereas the goddess Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty, and even though Aphrodite can be extremely vain, self-absorbed, self-centered, cunning, and jealous, she is also very witty, and protective and nurturing towards children, especially her own children. Sung Kwan embodies these 2 goddesses, as he is very loving and caring towards his members, always being the one to look after each member's health. He is also very emotionally intelligent and is very capable of picking up and grasping the mood or situation placed before him. He is in tune with his feelings and shows a lot of social awareness. Most importantly, he is very good at speaking and knows how to articulate himself, in a way that people not only can understand him very well but also in a way in which he can easily persuade people. Though he isn't self-centered, He does often take the central role and is often given the spotlight and attention, especially when 17 are on variety shows. As for Poseidon, Sung Kwan embodies Poseidon in the sense that Poseidon is known to be moody by nature, and his emotion tends to fluctuate, often resulting in violence. In short, Sung Kwan often loses to his emotions and can throw hands at anyone, especially if their name is Hoshi. If there was a god or goddess of chill and unbothered, I would have definitely picked them, but there isn't. So, for Vernon, we have the Roman goddess Tranquillitas, who is the goddess and the personification of tranquility, security, calmness, and peace, as well as the goddess Irene, who is the goddess of, and the personification of peace in Greek mythology. Though I couldn't find any personality traits for Tranquillitas, I did find some for Irene. Irene is known as the peacemaker and an excellent balance for the other Greek gods and goddesses whose infidelities and jealousy often cause wars and disagreements. And as we know, even though Vernon is said to be a pacifist, he is also the one who tends to help calm the chaos within 17. He is overall very peaceful, calm and chill by nature, and thus the goddesses Tranquillitas and Irene felt like the best suit to be his godly parents. Last, but certainly not least, we have Dino. The goddess Nike and the god Apollo are the two whom I saw could be Dino's godly parents. Nike is the goddess and the personification of victory and is very determined. Dino has shown how passionate and determined he is, especially as a dancer. He was known by 17 as the most hard-working when it comes to dancing. When it comes to Apollo, just like the other members who fall on the musical side of Apollo, so does Dino. Dino is very passionate about music and dancing, as evident through his danceology videos, and the members constantly stressing about how powerful he goes when dancing. Well, this brings me to the end of the video. Did you enjoy or agree with the list of gods and goddesses that I brought up? Or do you have your own list of gods and goddesses that you believe each member of 17 embodies? If so, feel free to write yours down below in the comment section. And also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Till next time, this has been LovelyMuze.